Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to Juicebox on the Rocks. This is Neuron.
And this is Don.
Hey, welcome back. This is episode. What episode is this, Don?
This is episode 2.5. Episode, I guess, in between our more extensive episodes. We figure it's New Year's. We could take the time to reflect on last year, see what we had going on, and also look forward to this year. Maybe talk about some of our resolutions, if we have any, if we had any last year, see where it led us and see where we're going.
Like Don said, we're going to be kind of covering what our goals are, things we want to work on, ways we want to improve this coming year. Without further ado,
all right, if you don't mind, we can go ahead and get into this weekly installment of the song of the. Did I just say week? I think I said week.
Song of the week. Oh, oh. Okay. I was like, I'm saying something, but I don't know what I'm going to say.
For sure. I think it's your turn to go first.
All right.
Take it away, Penny.
All right. Thank you, Regis. Appreciate it. I thought you said Kelly. And I thought we were doing a Regis and Kelly bit. I was like, okay, yeah, sure.
No, it's the episode where SpongeBob was in the house by himself and he had the penny, the tissue, and the chip.
I got you. Okay, that was just, I was like, man, I did not expect this to go Regis and Kelly, but I will go with it. Okay. All right. I think you went first last time, so I can go first unless you want to switch it up, Don. What do you think?
Oh, no, by all means. The floor is yours.
All right. Don't mind if I do. Okay. My song of the week is going to be Fall in Love Alone by Stacey Bryan is the name of the song.
Let's go ahead and give that a listen.
Let me know when you're ready.
All right. Upon further review, after listening to this song, I like it, man. I really do.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's one of those songs, it's like, it feels good to listen to, you know what I'm saying? One of those, not necessarily a feel-good song, but it's just like one of those songs that like, it's kind of uplifting.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, I like it like that. The melodies, the harmonies really are like really what get me in this song. Because I'm a sucker for harmonies, I'm not gonna lie. The layering of the vocals and stuff like that is really, really, really nice. And she has a really good voice too.
Yeah, yeah. You named a couple of things I actually really like about the song myself. For those of you who haven't listened to it yet, it's the song is called Fall in Love Alone. So it's talking about her and this friend where they have this kind of chemistry and her wondering if we never try, how will we know how far this thing could go? There's that trepidation of like, maybe it could go wrong. So it's not necessarily like super upbeat in its content, but it is the beat, the melody, the pacing of a song is so jovial, so upbeat, like you said, that it really makes it cool because she's talking about something that's like necessarily like super sunny days, but the melody reflects that. And she has such a great voice.
Right. Yeah. The melody of the song itself is very distinct.
Yeah. I don't know if this makes any sense, but like this type of song, I imagine it walking down the street in a happy movie. Everything is going perfect. They're like, yeah.
Yeah. The first scene in the movie, the camera pans down, the characters like walking down the street, listen with their headphones in, bobbing to the music.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's kind of like the cadence of the song. I've been listening to it a lot this week for sure.
Yeah, no. I hit like on it, you know what I'm saying, for sure. Hit the little heart,
all right.
Add it to the playlist. Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to listen to that song.
Okay, cool. I'm excited that you enjoyed it, on for sure.
Oh, yeah, no worries. But This week, I got for you The Pines by 070 Shake.
Okay, The Pines. Let's see. How do you even spell that?
The Pines?
No, the 070 Shake thing.
Oh, 070 Shake.
Oh, okay, gosh. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? How do you spell it? OHSU.
Hell yeah, long ass fucking name.
Okay, sounds good. All right, let me give it a listen. Thank you, Don. We'll be right back.
Sure.
All right, so we're back. I just gave it a song a listen, and you know what I gotta say? That's a pretty cool song. Like right off the beat, it has that like really dramatic, really dark, really like I don't even know what instrument that is.
Nah, I don't know.
Very cool, very dark, very foreboding, very intense. But I like it.
It's definitely super dark. I was actually introduced to Shake not too long ago. Not in person, obviously. I'm talking about the music.
Not yet.
So so I went to a Kid Cudi concert recently.
Oh shit.
For those that don't know, that's like a bucket list thing. Kid Cudi is my favorite artist of all time.
Okay.
And when I heard he was announcing his like last tour ever,
oh my god,
I was like, bro, I'm going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I went. One of his openers was Shake. And I was like, who is this? When they introduced her, bro, I thought they were introducing Kid Cudi because she had her own like little like dramatic intro and like everything got dark. It was like rumbling and shit. I was like, oh shit, what's going on? I'm not ready. Is this Kid Cudi? What's going on? And then she came and literally burned the motherfucker down, bro.
She
like,
what do we call it? We call it stomping the yard, dude.
I'm not saying that.
I will, don't worry.
She was not stomping the yard. But no, bro, she went crazy. Obviously, Kid Cudi was a spiritual experience. But it was like Shake that made like one of the real lasting impressions on me because I was like, wow, I need to listen to more of her stuff. The Pines and another song off of the same album that she performed, I was like, this might be like one of my favorite songs that I've ever heard.
Oh shit. Damn, dude.
And guess what? I'm really about to fuck you up.
I'm buckling in the fucking roller coaster seat.
This shit come full circle.
Oh boy.
Guess who 070 Shake was in a relationship with for a long period of time?
Oh my god, is it Kehlani?
It's Kehlani.
Dude, what? I was
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. I just searched up 070 Shake and I was like, do I feel like I've seen this person before?
No, bro. That's the
As soon as you said that, I was like, oh shit. And I think I remember I've seen that exact photo of them and I've seen one photo of them. I'm like, wait, who is this person?
for sure. That was the exact moment I had at the concert. They were on the big screen by the stage, and I was like, yo, who is that? And I'm sitting there reading the page, and it was like 070 Shake. And I was like, you look so fucking familiar. Where the fuck have I seen you before? And then I looked, wait a fucking second. Clickety clackety clickety clackety. That's Kehlani's. What the fuck they date? That's Kehlani. I've seen you on That's crazy.
Full circle, dude. Full circle for sure. Damn.
Yeah, it was wild.
Damn, that's crazy. Very cool. Very full circle. All right, cool.
So 2023 is upon us. Has been for a few days now. How's yours going so far?
Honestly, pretty decent, but I can't say it feels that different than 2022, you know? Just like, it's not a dramatic change like I feel like some people maybe make it out to be, for me.
No, I would have to say this New Year's was the most underwhelming New Year's I've ever had.
I think we're just disillusioned, Don.
Maybe. I don't know, man. It was like, not that the New Year's really means that much to me every year. You know what I mean? Although I had a New Year's tradition and I'm so fucking upset about it, bro. So back in the city where we met, I went out for New Year's. I've never purchased a New Year's hat. I was drunk as fuck in the middle of the bar. A Happy New Year, yay! I look down, I see this beat up cardboard New Year's hat. I put that bitch on my head, and that's my hat now.
Oh no. Okay.
So for every year since then, I've worn that hat, that exact same hat. Guess how long it's been, bro?
How long's it been, dog? Is it 8 years? Okay.
No, it's not 8.
Damn,
it was 5. This year I broke the tradition because I couldn't find the fucking hat.
Oh no. Damn, dude. I'm so sorry, dude.
I think it's gone, man. Nah, I gotta start something new. Yeah, man, it was sad. I was looking out. I tore my fucking apartment apart. I was everywhere. I was like, no way.
No, dude, that's so upsetting, dude. I'm sorry, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I definitely have been that type of person where I'm like, oh, this could be a new tradition, and then I just never follow through with like keeping the tradition this year. So the thing is, I can drink. When I drink, I go ham, but I don't often drink pretty much ever throughout the year. You know, unless the boys are in town, Jeremy and Colin, I'm going ham. My standard order for the night is 12 shots and like 3 mixed drinks.
Oh my gosh.
I know I can for sure safely 100% do that and not throw up. So that's what I usually shoot for when they're in town. But when they're not in town, I don't really, alcohol isn't very alluring to me. I think it's partly related to, you know, kind of like my upbringing and stuff like that. Not the good way, but the bad way. More of the, I'm going to avoid the vices kind of way. So
right. More of a social drinker.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't really drink that much. So it's never been that crazy for me. So I'm not really like, let's go to the bars, let's buck wild for the new year.
Yeah. And I'm not a very big like party or bar goer, you know what I'm saying? I had my little phase back in the day when, you know what I'm saying, I was young, early 20s. I mean, I'm still relatively young, I guess, but early 20s, late teens, I kind of burned through that shit fast.
Yeah.
I kind of like hit the ground like running. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So by the time I got to this age, it was like, yeah, I'm kind of bored of all that. You know what I mean? Like I would rather just chill out.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can, once you kind of flush that shit out of your system, you're kind of like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah. So New Year's, it was kind of underwhelming, but at the same point in time, I did kind of feel like a new energy from it. You know what I mean?
I think I could agree to that. Like, even though I'm not one for really going big for New Year's, I can understand understand the feeling of hopefulness and like that new excitement of starting something new, starting a new chapter. I can understand the appeal for it for sure.
Yeah, I was just talking about this with somebody because it's like we always look at like New Year's resolutions and whatnot as like so unserious and so like, trivial. And why do we even celebrate this type of thing? But it's like the symbolism of New Year's means so much to us as a people that it's like, I feel like it's one of those things nobody's going to let go. You know what I mean? Because when you think about it, right, the energy that people have on January 1st, the excitement, the happiness, the whatever, that's like the highlight of some people's years. You know what I mean? On fucking June 27th, you think they feel the same way about their year that they do on January 1st? If they do, that's amazing. I love that. But you know what I'm saying? That's not the case for most people. Like, I feel like people go through the year and they get beat down, beat down, beat down. And then when they get towards the end of the year, they need something to look forward to. They need, okay, let me just make it to the New Year's. Then I could, even if it's the illusion of energy, sometimes that's enough for people to make it through, so where they could even get started tackling the shit that they need to get tackled.
Yeah. As corny as some of the New Year's traditions can be, I think it does, like I said, offer that kind of like the youthful hopefulness for the new year. Like people are more inclined to be like, okay, I want to change. I'm looking within myself and I'm going to set goals for myself. I think that isolated is not a bad thing. I think it's a pretty neat thing to be able to have a holiday where everyone just kind of consecutively goes, okay, I want to put everything in the past. It is a new year, a new something, so it gives them a driving force to try to start over. For some people who are going through hard times or got stuff going on in their lives, I think having something like a new year, as corny, as cliche as it can be, is a really cool thing. It's kind of an excuse to keep pushing on. So I totally get what you mean.
Yeah. If anything, at the like lowest form is a practice of self-awareness. You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Like self-reflection and, digging deep to see like what you really got going on. And that's admirable.
Yeah, for sure. With that being said, 2022 is behind us. Do you have any goals or resolutions going to 2023, Don?
I mean, my thing personally is I'm trying to be better. Just me, myself. I'm trying to be better for myself and the people around me. Or when I look at where I was in 2022 and what I need to work on within those spaces, it's very clear to me what I started lacking in and where my values were and what I was thinking about the most. And it kind of like let me know where I was and where I need to be.
I agree with everything you said, Don. It's as hard as 2022 was, as daunting as it was, the fact that it allowed for a lot of reflection, a lot of growth, I think is the thing that I think you need to focus on sometimes as we're going through that stuff. It's hard, and it was hard when we went through it, but we made it through, so I agree. Yeah, going into 2023, I'm excited for bigger and better things, It was a really hard year, really taxing, like you said, but I think a lot of introspection was had, a lot of self-work was done, and I think for the long run, me and you are both better off for sure because of those things.
Exactly. So I feel like my real like main resolution, if I were to have one, would just be to like be more present. You know what I mean? Just to be more in the moment, to experience life more, be grounded. I feel like I'm in the clouds or I'm spaced out too often, or I'm thinking about the past or I'm thinking about the future rather than, just living. So I feel like being present is one of those things that's just like important.
I totally agree with you there. I think it's really easy to get lost up in what we have going on in our lives, that we can tend to overlook the things that make life great, make life wonderful. I think going into the new year, that is also definitely one of my biggest points of improvement, is just working on trying to be more appreciative of the now rather than having to look back on it in the future and being like, oh, I wish I would have appreciated this more when I had it, or vice versa.
Yeah, 100%. That's the thing too, because I feel like from a journey standpoint, a lot of people want to be at their destination rather than, experiencing the road itself. Think about it like a road trip, right? You're trying so hard to get to your destination and you're missing the things that are passing you by on the road. You know what I mean? You're missing.
Like they say, the real destination was the friends we made along the way.
Ah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really do. I really do think it's really easy to just kind of get lost in what's going on in the now. I know, obviously, I know that 2022 was a year that was shitty for the both of us, for different reasons.
Yeah.
But I think it's a lot of things that happened that it was a lot of necessary and difficult growth.
Right. More than anything, like, yeah, there was shitty shit that happened in 2022. But like for me, I feel like it was more so difficult rather than shitty. You know what I mean? 2021 for me was shitty because I was dealing with so much. I was lost and there was this, there was that, you know what I mean? But in 2022, I felt like I made a stand. I put my foot down and I was like, I'm going to make these decisions and I'm going to stand by these decisions. And whatever comes with them, I got to deal with it more so difficult than anything because I had to deal with the ramifications of the decisions I made. But there was bad stuff in between there, but I can't say it was all bad.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. For me going into it, 2022 was a really big year for me. For the most part, it was fine. And then right about halfway through the year, I lost my grandma. She's the most important person in my life. She basically was the de facto mother for my brother and I growing up, as well as my grandpa being my father figure, basically. And we lost her about early June, and that was really tough for me to go through. It took me a long time to recover from the loss of her. Just the grief and the fog that it put me in was so substantial that it was really hard for me to come back from. It took a little time to be able to allow myself to feel those feelings and be able to process everything that happened. But when I eventually did figure it out, and like I'm still figuring it out now, but I think one of the biggest things about her loss is that it taught me how much life I was missing out on. I think I participate in life, but I think there are times where I get too caught up in like the depression is hitting a little too heavy, this or that's weighing on me too much. It's easy for me to like take a backseat to my own life. But just in the way that I remembered her and the ways that I remembered on the good times with her, it really reminded me that there are a lot of little things in life to be grateful for. For me, my grandma always was somebody who was like always videotaping, always taking pictures of the most mundane things. We've gone huge, long walks downtown to go to Goodwill. I never really was a big fan, but she'd love to go through and be like, "Oh, look, this is part of someone's life. They didn't need it anymore. It has a new life for someone else." And she would enjoy the walks, no matter how long, how tedious they were. To her, even in her final like couple weeks, months, I got a chance to drive with her to Walmart. And to a lot of people, it's like Walmart, whatever. But for her, no matter how many times she had gone to the grocery store in her life, even at that stage of fatigue, she appreciated it being able to be like, "Oh, look at this. This is so cool. Look how far technology has gone. Hey, look at this. I never would have had this growing up." Or, "Oh, let's grab my favorite this, favorite that." And at that stage, she had not been able to eat or drink anymore. She was receiving nutrients through a feeding tube, but she still was in awe of everything around her. She was just like, "Wow, it's so cool. It's so cool." And it never was a feeling of like, "Oh, I won't be able to experience this soon," or "I'm really sick. I can't experience this." Like we bought drinks, we bought, snacks or whatever, and maybe she hadn't connected that she couldn't eat it anymore, but we did. And she enjoyed the whole store. We like spent literally like 4 hours there, and it was just her just appreciating the small things and being like, even as mundane as a shopping trip can be, even in those type of situations, my grandma was always thrilled to be a part of it. Her favorite buffet all throughout my childhood. The first place I took her when I got my very first check ever. Well, I took her to my grandpa. She loved the same place. You can take her to it 50 times in a row. Every time you guys went out, she would never ever complain. She would love it every time. And that really taught me a lot about looking at life that type of way, because if someone is at that stage in life and things are not going necessarily the best way, and they can still sit there and be like, "It's still wonderful to be alive right now," it really brought a perspective for me of like wanting to be more grateful for what I have while I have it.
Yeah, it's one of those things, man. It's you can look at things a certain way and miss so much, right? Just from a perspective of you can live your life very normally and have your eyes not open to just certain little things. And those little things you miss would in turn mean you miss a whole bunch of shit. Because like you said, catching the fact that she enjoyed going to the same restaurant, you know what I'm saying? It brought her joy, you know what I mean? It's something like that teaches you to enjoy the little things, man. Because it's like going to your favorite restaurant, watching your favorite TV show or hanging out with your favorite people, you know what I mean? Those are the things that like the small things that bring us joy are like super, super, super important. And those are the things that like we kind of lose a lot of the time when we don't even think about the stuff we're doing. We don't even absorb the moment a lot of the time, and that goes back into the idea of being present. You know what I mean? This enjoying the little things, paying attention to the people around you, you know what I'm saying? Appreciating the people around you. It's all linked together.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, when you're so used to going through life and you're just trying to survive, And when you're going through the same route every day, it can be easy for you to miss the small stuff. You're just kind of blind to it, at a certain point. You're like, yeah, I'm used to it, whatever. I'm not looking for stuff anymore.
Mhm.
But when you change your attitude to be like, wow, look at this, or I never noticed this before, or isn't it cool that this and that, and isn't it cool that if we're in a different country, my grandma's home country, we would have never been able to experience this or whatever. That kind of stuff, and being with someone who is able to just kind of see it in fresh eyes, kind of like grounds you, like you said.
Mhm.
No matter what kind of fog we can be in, at the end of the day, like, there are a lot of little things in life that make life enjoyable. And I think, like we have been talking about, it can be easy to be lost in the hardships and the hard times, but it can be so rewarding to be able to look at the small things and be like, I'm acknowledging this as a wonderful part of my life, and I'm going to work on pursuing more of the same kind of feeling, I think my grandma, like I said, she always took pictures, she always takes videos, and like one of her biggest things that she left behind for us, to me, because I don't really care about them, I don't care about the will or whatever. The biggest thing is that she has a bunch of VHS tapes that just have, us growing up and her trips to Vietnam to visit my family and etc. And I'm working on trying to get those into DVD format to be able to see stuff, to be able to watch it again, digital format or whatever. The way that she carried on her life throughout the entire time, she was never ungrateful for anything. She always worked hard for her money. She retired at a very late age, like 80. And the entire time she worked really hard, busted her ass to raise grandkids that she didn't need to raise. And she still was able to stop and enjoy the roses. She was a gardener throughout my whole childhood and up until she couldn't, get into the garden anymore. But she literally stopped to smell the roses. Like, we'd go on walks and she'd be like, look at this flower, look at that flower. And just that mentality and that way of living really was comforting to me and really opened my eyes when we were in the process of like starting to lose her, starting to feel like, her life was, coming to a natural close. And I think that really inspires me because, like,
That's great.
to be able to look back and kind of hear her voice and hear her talk about, like, look at this shot of the snow, first ever snow of this year and this and that. Stuff that we're kind of like meh about. Seeing things in her perspective, hearing perspectives of other people, getting those fresh eyes again, looking and pursuing the little things in life that make it beautiful is something that I want to carry on into the new year. And I think that's a big reason why we have this podcast, honestly.
Mhm.
I've missed out on a lot throughout the years. This podcast has given me an ability to talk to you, Don, one of my closest friends, reminisce on really good times, just kind of enjoy good company. And you never know, maybe in the future, maybe we're the grandparents that some grandkids or even further look back on, they're like, what are these people talking about? you know?
That's a crazy idea, man. But I want to just touch on one of the things you just said, and it made me really think. I really think there's like a real pure energy about like stopping to enjoy the things that naturally occur, right? Like stopping to
Yeah.
smell a flower or things like that. That just like the energy within that and like taking it in, I feel like it's indescribable, right? Because there's a few things that I've started to do in regards to nature and the things around me ever since I became a mail carrier. I started watching clouds, right? And
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's you were to tell younger me who's like a recluse, a shut-in, fucking sitting inside playing video games all day, you know what I'm saying? And I'd be outside watching the clouds, you know what I'm saying, roll across the sky. I would be like, bro, get the fuck out my, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds crazy, but like one of those days, I was just, walking, going through the mundane, mail here, mail there, mail here, mail there. I looked up and I was like, wow, those clouds are gorgeous. And from that day forward, I just started looking up to the sky, looking to see what the clouds are doing today. You know what I'm saying? And along in that same vein, I like in the area where I live, there's a river, the Mississippi River, right? Sometimes if I need like a good recharge, I'll drive over to the Mississippi River, just park and like sit on a bench and just like sit and watch the water do what it does. You know what I mean? Just sit there, take in the energy. You know what I mean?
Dude.
And I feel like it does so much for me. It's refreshing. It's just a good feeling. Right.
Yeah, man, that's honestly, that's fucking awesome to hear. Like we have been saying, like there's so much going on in life. There's just so many millions of things that can catch your eye. But when you can just stop and literally smell the rose, watch the water, it just like resets you to, I don't know, like a peaceful space inside your head, inside your heart and your mind. You're just kind of there. You're just existing, and then that's it. Just appreciating that you are alive in the time that you are, and you have a second to just kind of pause and admire nature and admire life as it is. So I think it's really wonderful. That's exactly what I'm saying when I said I'd agree with you going into the new year, to be more present. It's a little less about trying to rush through my day and get through the day, and a little bit more about trying to take a breather, take a second, be more present in the moment, and enjoy everything that life has to offer. Because honestly, as sorrowful as life can be, as sorrowful as life was when I lost my grandma, as crazy as it can be with everything going on in our lives, there's so many things that we have to be grateful for. I mean, life is a weird thing. It's an equal amount of pain, equal amount of suffering, and just as much potential for love and for wonder. 2023, I think I'm going to just try to be more present.
Yeah. It's just, I think it's completely necessary, right? Because if you're not in the moment, then where are you really? Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And it's like, it sounds like I'm trying to be like fake deep or whatever, but like, no, truthfully, like, if you're not living your life currently, like, this is happening right now. Regardless of whether you're here or not, this is what's happening. What has happened has happened. What will happen has not happened yet. You don't even know what will happen. So where we are is where we are.
Right.
And if you're not taking advantage of where you are and appreciating what's going on around you, then I feel like the time that you're spending is going to waste.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Like I just said, I'm trying to, work on my trying to work on myself, And I don't have any like particular order of importance with these type of things. It's just, a bunch of stuff on the chalkboard that I'm trying to cross off the chalkboard.
Okay, that's it.
I'm gonna work on getting my winter weight off me. You know what I mean? With work picking up and everything like that. And it's kind of funny with my job being so active. You would think it wouldn't matter. Nah, it was. I was packing on the LBs in the winter, and I'm gonna shed that come the new year, and get back to my regular self because I feel like I'm moving a little bit more sluggish. It's hard for me to, you know what I mean. And plus, with the seasonal depression and stuff like that that happens,
Oh, dude. Hard agree on that. Hard agree on that.
Oh yeah, that's one thing.
Yeah. I got a home gym myself building up. I got, that I got that adjustable bench. I got that barbell. I got those weights. I actually just had my brother help me build my little weight rack because I was like, this shit is fucking complicated. I'm excited to get into it. I'm excited to get fucking yoked, This is something about being able to I really miss that that good sore where you're like,
Oh
man,
yeah,
my fucking arms are fucking noodles, but for a good cause.
I feel like I haven't had that crazy sore in a while. You know what I mean? Not like
I
crazy sore,
know,
like
dude.
insane, like oh I can't do this, but like that good,
Yeah.
crazy noodle pump. You know what I mean?
The crazy noodle pump. Let's
Yeah,
go.
crazy noodle pump.
The
Yeah.
crazy noodle pump, dude. That's our fucking just spin-off show. Crazy noodle pump. Or just talk about sports and talk about lifting and shit like that. But yeah, no, I used to be really deep. I really used to be really heavy into that. So I'm excited to get back to it. It's corny because it's a new year, everybody's thinking about it. But you know what? Fuck that shit. Fuck all that noise. I don't care what people say about it. Yeah, those are really my big resolutions going to New Year. When December comes around, we're gonna be back with our own Spotify rap for the podcast, yo. I'm calling it now. We're sticking to it.
No, that's definitely on the list, bro. Because I'm excited to get started on this whole thing. I'm really excited to see where we're at by next year's time. We're on the same time next year. You know what I mean? Not even just with the podcast, just where we are as people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then also with the podcast.
But also with the podcast, for sure. This podcast, like I said again, not really about the cloud, not really about all that. It's really about being able to experience life and having that memory to look back upon.
Also, trying to take a snapshot in time, really.
Yes, sir. Despite all that lack of needing for it to be a big thing, for it to blow up, it's been so much fun. Honestly, it's been so exciting. Every time we were about to record, thrilled to get to it. And honestly, every time we record, it's kind of like a therapy session, kind of low key. To be able to talk it out with you. We're pretty similar in our ways of approaching the world, I think, but also different enough for it to be interesting. At least I hope so.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. No. Every time we get to do this, every week that we get to do this, I am so excited. I'm thrilled, and yeah, it just gets me excited for what's to come in the future. So here's to 4 or 5 episodes so far, and also here's to a bunch more to come.
Yeah, no, definitely excited. Definitely looking forward to the new year. Definitely looking forward to keeping going with this. I feel like the podcast has so much room to grow and so much more we can do within ourselves to make it better. Not even from like you said, not a clout standpoint, but just like a connection type of thing, have something that people can identify with, and everybody likes to be seen here and there.
I think that's one thing that we can kind of benefit from a perspective of not trying to do it for clout, is being able to talk about just kind of, I don't know, some more down the earth and real life shit, instead of being like, oh, I fucking crashed my Bugatti and da da da. whatever you might say, it's a little more like, oh, how did I get through this week, dude? Look at it, all this overtime's killing me, or this and that happened, and wow, I went to my first concert and that kind of thing. It's really nice to be able to share those experiences, and like you said, really cool to imagine that people listen to this podcast. So for those of you out there who are listening to the podcast and giving us feedback, like, you guys are the fucking real ones, dude. And it's an indescribable amount of joy that I get to know that people are out there who want to listen, who want to hear our thoughts. The feeling of being perceived and the feeling of being seen is a very special one. So to everyone out there, thank you so much for listening to us. And, with all that being said, we are so glad to be here. We are so excited for what's to come. And we're excited to have you guys along with us. We hope you guys have a wonderful and amazing and beautiful new year with all of your loved ones. Don't forget to hold your loved ones. Don't forget to tell them you love them. And enjoy every moment you have, because you never know.
I hope last year wasn't too hard on you. You know what I mean? Hope you're able to pick yourself up at least a little bit, come into the new year with a new mindset. Not even just a new mindset, maybe just an improved mindset on.
Improved one, yes.
And improvement isn't, we always got to remember, guys, growth is not always linear.
It really isn't.
Improvement is incremental.
Yeah.
If your mindset is improved from yesterday, that's a win. See, look, I'm dropping dimes on y'all, and y'all don't even stop playing with me.
Hey.
But now look.
24 karat gold, dude.
But no, for real. Like, I'm excited to, move forward, and I'm excited to have people listening to what we got going on as we move forward. Here's the 2023, 2022. You can kick rocks. You will not be missed. We moving forward. Shouts out to y'all, man.
Shouts out. I think it's important and really fun for us to be able to see this podcast grow. But like Don was saying, it's more important for us to grow with the podcast. It's more important for us to grow as people, to improve on ourselves. At the end of the day, as long as I am better than the me that was yesterday, it's a win.
Exactly.
One of the important lessons that you have to kind of learn growing up is that it's not a race. It's not a race to the finish line. Everybody's running their own race at their own pace. We all in the same hell, just different devils. We all playing the same game, just different levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who said that? I heard that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I can't remember what that is. I did that. I just pulled that inside my brain, man. I can't remember.
Somebody's literally screaming at the top of their lungs.
I hope so, because we share the same. I want to say it's a musician. It's got to be, right?
No, it's definitely a song.
Okay.
The only thing that came up was a fucking Instagram post from The Rock looking buff as shit. What the fuck?
What the fuck? I swear to God, it's like
that's about to piss me off.
If you know, please reach out. But that has always been a thing that's really stuck with me. Mm-hmm. But it's true, we're all playing the same games, different levels. We all in the same house, just different devils, and that's the truth. We all have our own path, own journeys, our different paces. Individually, we are composed the same. We're breaking down the same periodic elements, but what we do with our lives is what matters. So I hope 2023 is a wonderful year for you guys. I hope it's a year of growth, whether that be hard growth, but important growth, or just growth in general.
No, yeah, I agree. The only challenge I have for everybody, that's me, that's Nerlin, that's all y'all listening, let's do better this year. Better is better. At the end of the day, just let's do better.
I hope on the overall, you guys are excited for what's to come, and I hope you guys have an amazing year. And from me and Don, both, thank you again for listening to the podcast. It means everything to us. It's exciting to watch. It's exciting to be able to share experience with you guys. We are so appreciative of it.
Indeed.
Be kind, be good to each other, and let's work to improve ourselves, because that's what matters, and shoot just to be better than we were yesterday. Without further ado, that was the end of our New Year's resolutions, but hopefully not the end of our progress with them. Thank you guys one last time for being here. We have been Juicebox on the Rocks. This is Nerlin.
This is Don. And listen, it's 2023, so you may think, oh, I'm coming with something different. I'm coming right back to the place where I always been from day one. What you do is you get you a juice box and you keep it on ice.
Until next time.
Stay frosty.
Stay frosty.
Hey, how y'all doing?
How y'all doing?
It's been a month, like a literal month.
Actual factual 30 real life days.
Yeah.
31.
There's been some things going on in real life, you know what I'm saying? People got, And some things happen, and then we here.
Indeed, some things happened, some things didn't. We're not gonna talk about some things didn't. Maybe we didn't put an episode out. Maybe we did. Let's not talk about that. Well, let's talk about that actually. So we shot the New Year's episode. We kind of have a funny way of staggering our episodes, but because we're so excited to get these episodes out, we kind of have a couple of episodes ready, locked and loaded, and in the chamber to go. But upon editing the New Year's episode, which we shot a month ago,
A literal month.
yeah, a little month ago, we ran into a few complications with some audio and stuff like that, but mostly it was just ADHD taking over. At the beginning of the year, lots of stuff happened,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, we did not put an episode out like I had originally had wanted as the editor. But we're here to kind of catch you guys up on what happened and why it didn't happen. But kind of update on the whole process of this new year.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Don, how's your new year been? It's been a month.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. There's difficulties here and there, but I feel like we making progress on the goals that we originally set out on. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And like they always say, progress isn't linear. So it's like, we move forward, we move back, we move forward, we move back. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I feel like a whole month into the year, I think I'm better off than I was in the beginning of the year,
For sure, man, for sure. I'd second that completely. Especially with the linear comment. I don't know about you, Don. That's a lie. I do know because we're accountability buddies. But this month, Don and I have both been really acting upon our goals of trying to get into healthier shape, get into fitness, trying to get back into good habits. And we've been kind of keeping each other posted on when we do our workouts, what we've done, and that kind of thing. So, Don, you want to talk a little bit more about it?
Yeah, for sure. So personally, I don't know about you, and I don't even know if I'm asking you this specifically because this is kind of like a weird personal thing.
Okay.
So when I gain weight, right, normally it tends to be around my stomach area, like my chest, my upper body mainly.
Okay.
I don't gain a crazy amount of weight in my lower body because my legs generally tend to be toned.
Okay.
Weirdly enough.
Very
It's
weird.
it's like a halfway, like if you look up top, then you look at the bottom, it's like, what's going on?
You're like a duck or like a chicken or some kind? Damn.
No, really. Because my legs are like tree trunks, bro.
So
I'm not a skinny guy naturally. You know what I mean? Like weight just naturally clings to me, but not like fatty weight. And then here's
oh Lord.
Don's talking about being muscly. No, I'm like but naturally, like that's the type of weight that like clings to me. Even like ever since I started working out in my teenage years, I've retained my general shape of that. Even in my like most unhealthy moments, I've retained a certain build. So okay, I guess I can give a little background. During COVID, I got really heavy. And it wasn't even like people were in their houses, you know what I mean? So they were probably like gaining weight. And it wasn't even like that. I was an essential worker. I was at work every day. You know what I mean?
Hey man, this stressing. There's like, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's true.
No.
I gained a crazy amount of weight. I was like, aside from late last year, early this year, I was probably the heaviest I've ever been. I was like 240, 250.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And for me, I'm 6'3". My natural weight is probably around like 200 to 210. You know what I mean? Somewhere in there. And again, that's taken into account. If you look at the BMI scales, they would say I'm overweight if I was 200 to 210. But I don't pay attention to the BMI scales.
The BMI scales, yeah, they have a history of
I don't know. People say they're fat phobic anyway with the BMI scale, so I was like, whatever.
The BMI scale is kind of one of those things that's like very there's some things associated with the roots of it that don't have grounds, but there's a general sense of like there's some grounds maybe, but the way that it's applied is different. You get what you mean? Like it's there, but it's also like not something to hold your life to.
Right. So it was like 40 pounds on me is really noticeable, I feel. So at that point I was like, okay, I have to make a choice to get in better shape. So I was looking up like different ways of cardio because like lifting weights is really just building muscle, but like it's not gonna knock fat off. So I was like, I really need to get into cardio, but I hate running. I hate running so much, bro.
Yeah.
So I was looking it up. I was like, walking, I already do a shit ton of walking. My body is pretty much plateaued off of the effects off of that. So walking isn't gonna do anything for me. And then I was like, okay, jumping rope. It was one of those things where I was like, when I thought about the science of jumping rope, I was like, that's perfect. I bought a jump rope like literally the next day.
Yeah.
And I dove really like headfirst into it, and I noticed immediate results. So I just stuck with it.
Yeah, I get you.
I started jumping rope again. What was it? A week or two ago, and bro, I've already seen results. I've literally already seen results.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because one of the main things with fitness that a lot of people don't realize, right, is doing the same things as other people is not going to have the same effects to your body. Everybody's body is unique.
Yeah.
So when you're doing research and whatnot, and when you're actually exercising, you need to take note of what you see, the effects of it, yada yada. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like throughout my late teenage years and early like 20s, I was really heavily lifting. I was really like getting into it and really taking note of like, okay, this is what really I've kind of formulated a whole I guess it's not a routine, but it's like I generally know what my body responds to.
Yeah.
I took a before picture, right, of like my stomach and my chest and everything. I'm like, I'm fresh out the shower, and I looked at it. I'm like, this is me. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those people who gets upset or like grossed out about, oh man, I'm fat, I'm this, I'm that. Because you know what I mean? Fat isn't a insult. Fat is a descriptor. And when I looked in the mirror the other day, I was like, what the fuck? I've only jump roped like 4 times in the past week and a half, and I'm already like seeing myself slim down. And possibly it has to do with my profession as well, right? Because obviously I'm a mail carrier. I'm up and at 'em. I'm active every day anyway.
Up and at 'em.
Bodies are weird to the point where it's like I learned a certain philosophy about like shocking your body, right?
Mhm.
If you're doing the same workout every day in, day out, every day in, day out, you don't change anything, your results will obviously taper off. So if you switch it up, it's called shocking your body, quote unquote. Your body doesn't get a chance to get used to what you're doing. So the reaction of your what you're doing will always be at its maximum if you're switching up what you're doing. Okay. So it's like I'm already doing cardio on a day-to-day basis. So when I add in the jump rope, my body's like, whoa, 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 what the fuck is going? You know what I mean? That type of thing.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, cool. I mean, congratulations, dude. I know that it's been a short stint of time that you've started to jump roping. Just from I'm remembering from all of our Snap interactions and everything like that. But dude, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, for sure.
When I was really into basketball and I was going out to the courts every day, including the winter time, I cut easily like 50 pounds, 60 pounds in like a very short amount of time in less than like 6 months because I was just really going insane about it. When I get in it mentally, I just cannot think about anything else. And that's kind of the reason why we've been kind of quiet on the podcast this month.
Mhm.
I've been really proactively trying to get into making a routine, trying to get into establishing habits so that I can run on autopilot going forward, and I've been really enjoying it, honestly. Yeah, Donna's heard about it. I was updating him every day, and then I stopped updating him every day directly because I felt like it was probably too much.
Bro, I appreciate like the snaps every day for like, and I check your story too because I see you post the you know the workout stuff on your story and whatnot, and I really like. I don't want to get all sappy, but like, man, I'm proud or what, you know what I mean? But like, it's inspiring to see, you know, whether or not it's hyperfixation or whatever you attribute it to, the dedication to accomplishing what you set out to accomplish on a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? Putting in the work. I feel like the most important thing is like literally just doing the work.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I appreciate it, Don. I stopped doing so much direct stuff because I didn't want to like flood his inbox. But I was like for the first week to week and a half, I was going every day and like doing a bunch of shit. I didn't want to just like continuously. And at that point, I think Don was still working on trying to work his schedule around, get his tools so that he can start on his type of regimen, type of routine. So I didn't want to overload him, but I do post basically strictly just what I do at the gym.
Right, right.
But yeah, it's been a really crazy couple weeks. I did not start January 1st, so technically I am a resolutioner, but I'm hoping for it to continue so that I don't have to be and then I can continue to see growth. But my first week, believe it or not, I lost I think 10.8 pounds was what it was. I was going ham. Like when I tell you guys I was going ham, I was fucking going ham. I didn't believe it. I literally had to stand on the scale like 5 times, 6 times and take pictures every time in order for me to believe it. A lot of that could be just attributed to, obviously water retention changes a lot over a couple of days. I changed my eating habits really drastically. I don't worry, I didn't cut my calories in half or anything like that. I started using this app called MyFitnessPal, and you can track every single meal you have or snack, and you can also track your exercise on there, log it. I've gotten really good into the habit of journaling my workouts every day, journaling how I feel. I do have off days. I don't schedule my off days, but when I do have off days, I try my best to make those my most documented days, so I can kind of study why my brain acts a certain way or why I have certain habits that are not as good or not as healthy.
Right.
I've been loving going to the gym and lifting weights every day. And some people are like, there's a discussion about how counterintuitive cardio plus weightlifting is at certain points in your journey. But for me, I'm working on body recomposition. So while building muscle doesn't delete fat, building muscle and maintaining muscle ultimately means that you have more things that are going to require more calories to maintain. Right now I'm going to the gym at 2:30 to 4:30 every day, that kind of range. I think I really honestly think this could be the time. If I stick to it, I keep going where I'm going, just kind of steadily making my way to my goal. I think this will be the moment that I solidified this as my normal routine. And I've been seeing a lot of positive results. So yeah, that's really the big reason why we've been kind of quiet. We've been both kind of working on different things. Life has been crazy, but me as an editor, I've been very hyper fixated on trying to make what I hope to be permanent changes to my routine. So it's been kind of taking my life over as a hyperfixation, but I hope to keep it as a real everyday routine thing. But I also, I still fucking miss Dawn. It's nice talking to Dawn. It's nice shooting the shit. It's nice talking about whatever. I still love the podcast. I have passion for it. So I want to get back in the groove. I promise coming up here, we're going to get back into the groove of keeping the episodes going every other week, ideally. But yeah, that's why we've been gone. We just kind of want to keep you posting on that stuff. Yeah.
Well, absolutely.
And if you guys are out there, you guys are working on your weight loss, working on your health in general, fitness as an overall statement, let us know. I'd be super interested to hear and talk about it. I've definitely talked to a lot of you guys, a lot of people outside of the podcast about what I've been up to and why we haven't been uploading episodes. But I'd love to hear more. I'm honestly really interested in trying to learn about health and wellness and as a general prospect, as someone who's new into it, and I'd love to talk to you guys about it. So for sure, share with us.
Oh yeah, it's and it's always good to hear outside perspectives on what's going on and what works for other people. It's just interesting.
Yeah, definitely. That's what the podcast is all about. At the end of the day, we're just here to talk, try to share our opinions, our perspectives, our point of views, our experiences, and hear stuff back, and we can kind of work on it together and try to figure out what works for ourselves in the meantime.
100%.
But yeah, that was kind of the update on where we're at or why we've been kind of radio silent. But I promised you we're going to be going back to regular content pretty soon here. I just want to say that I really appreciate, I'm sure Don really appreciates you guys being around. The friends have messaged me, have been like, hey, I'm waiting on my episode. I'm waiting for the episode of the podcast. Where's my episode? And honestly, you guys don't understand how much that means. Thank you so much for everybody who's expressed interest, who are here today listening to us. So
I was just going to say, it's crazy to me to think about the fact that it's I'm just talking to Maryland, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
we've done these talks a million times over, you know what I mean?
We really have. It's crazy.
But the fact that people want to hear that type of stuff is crazy to me. It's insane because it's it's a lot of times these just be regular conversation.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy. Honestly, it's really hard for me to grasp and really hard for me to just kind of absorb. We hit over 100 viewers or listeners a little while ago. That was crazy. I never would have thought.
Crazy.
At the end of the day, to be able to get a chance to just speak with a really good friend of mine and just basically cherish in a moment, live in the moment, appreciate the little things. That's all that matters. But to be able to gain even more depth and gain even more perspective from everyone that's listening out there, that's even better. So thank you so much for listening, for being here. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Shouts out to Deafie out the way in the UK listening to me and Don just shooting the shit, being just pals and having people listen to it. Pretty crazy, especially all the way out there. Love you, appreciate you. Sorry this episode came out so late, but it's here. And then for Jenna, who talks to me every day at work about why I haven't updated, thank you so much for keeping me on the track. For you too, especially, and everyone else listening, we promise to be better, and we are so appreciative that you guys are here now with us.
That's great, man. Not only from a perspective of people listening, but people listening enough to try to all right, now where the next episode at?
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
That's a crazy feeling, bro. That's crazy.
It's been such little time since it starts in its beginnings that it's crazy to think how much joy it's brought me just shooting episodes alone, let alone everything else. Being able to put stuff out there, have something out there that's like created by us and our friendship, and then having people listen to it and like it is incredible. I had someone who I like rarely see at work, and she was like, "Hey, listen to your podcast. I finally got a chance to listen to your podcast. It was super funny." It's crazy. I don't know. It's really fun. It's really awesome. I'm humbled by everybody being able to give up their time to listen to this podcast. Obviously, there's a million others out there, but for you guys to be here today, can't be more grateful, to be honest.
100%, bro. Because and I think I speak for Nerlin too when I say this, for serial talkers like me and Nerlin, it for somebody to just listen, it means the world, bro. Really.
It really does. It really does.
It's just it means a lot to have somebody just actually just sitting and soaking in your words and what you're saying, bro. It's indescribable.
I couldn't have thought of a better co-host or a better friend to do this with, Don. Honestly, yeah. I mean, it's been a great excuse for us to pick back up on our friendship and be able to catch up more often, more frequently. And for that alone, I'm so grateful. For everything else, I'm incredibly humbled and incredibly appreciative of everything you guys are doing out there. Just listen to us.
Yeah, no, man. I'm so thankful for this whole thing. There's a new energy about you know what I mean? The way we move. And I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over. But to sit and talk to one of the people who I've been sitting and talking to since I've met, right? And I enjoy that on its own. You know what I mean? But for somebody to be a part of the conversation, it's just it's great.
I know it sounds like we keep talking in circles, and maybe we are. This is kind of the way we are. Honestly, seriously, thank you guys so much for being here. Again, we're getting back on the schedule. We're getting back on that wagon. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going with our fitness. We're gonna keep going with the podcast. We're gonna keep going with trying to appreciate 2023 and making it our year. So everyone out there, thank you so much for being here. This has been Juicebox on the Rocks. I'm Nerlin.
And I am Don. In February, beginning of 2023, you would think to yourself, if I had a juice box, right, where would I keep it? Now, me personally, if I had a juice box, Nerlin, where do you think I would keep it?
Oh, I don't know. It could be a lot of places. It could be your pocket. Could be a purse.
Wrong. It can't be a lot of places. It can't be a lot of places. It's gotta be on the ice.
It's gotta be on the ice, dude.
It's gotta be. No, for real, it's gotta be on the ice, man. But no, seriously though. In all honesty, thank you guys for listening. We appreciate literally every single listen. And going later down the line into this year, we're gonna keep doing it like we said we was going to. We're gonna get back on a horse. You know what I'm saying? We on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. All right, guys. That being said, until next time, stay frosty. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Nerlin.
And this is Don.
What's up? Like we said, we're going to try to be so much better about our content, trying to be a little bit better about the podcast. We love it. I love Don. I love this podcast. I love you guys, and we want to be better about it. So just so you guys know that we are fully committed to get this thing back up and running. Let's talk a little bit about what's going to be coming up next in the next episode, Don. Hit it.
Yeah. But no, we got some good things coming up. You know what I'm saying? Some good interesting stuff. Next time you can look forward to some Am I the Asshole stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some stories here and there. We giving our opinions on what's going on. We're also gonna be creating a playlist for our songs of the week.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna have that linked, so stay tuned with that.
Check that out, and we're excited to have you guys here for next week's Am I the Asshole. We're gonna be covering a lot of different stuff. We're gonna be talking about kids sleeping on the lawn overnight in the winter. We're going to be talking about dads and their baby mamas. We're going to be talking about Thanksgiving bullshit and a bunch of other mess. Be sure to tune in. Once again, this is Nerlin.
This is Don.
And we've been Juicebox on the Rocks. See you next time.
See ya.